Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day one of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on doing at least two things every day that I don't want to do or that I don't like to do. So, yay for day one. Um, I'm not entirely sure how these videos are going to pan out. But every set of 100 days of videos that I have done, I have learned something about myself. I have grown. I feel like I've become a better person or just more aware of who I am and the type of person that I can be or the type of person that I want to be. And I feel like this is a really huge challenge that I'm putting in front of myself for the next 100 days. And I feel like it's what God put in my head to do, because of course anytime I'm arguing with myself in my head over something, I figure it's because God's telling me to do it and I'm saying I don't want to. So this isn't one of those justification things where I'm trying to justify doing something or not feel guilty for making a decision to do something. This is one of those I just don't want to do it. So for my first video, obviously, I'm making a video and I'm starting my 100 days of things I don't want to do, and I don't want to make these videos. So there's the first one out of the way, right? So this is going to be an interesting thing. And I'm just going to preface where this all came from, because I go to my 12-step meetings, my Al-Anon, and they have like a little bookmark that's just for today's. On each I don't know how many is on there just for today's. There's like two sides of it. There's probably like 10, maybe 7 to 10 things just for today. I will do this just for today, just for today. So I'm going to read the one that this came from, but I'm not going to do the entire thing for every single video. Anyway, it says, just for today, I will exercise my soul in 3 ways. I will do somebody a good turn and not get found out. If anybody knows of it, it will not count. I will do at least 2 things I don't want to do just for exercise. I will not show anyone that my feelings are hurt. They may be hurt, but today I will not show it. So obviously, if I'm having hurt feelings or I'm upset or it's stressing me out to do these things, I'm going to share that in my videos. And obviously, it's really hard to do a good turn for someone and not get found out. Especially if you're doing it for someone like at work or someone close to you. They kind of just know that it was you. There are ways to do it where you don't get found out, but I'm not going to do that every day. Maybe someday I will do that. But the only part I'm picking out of this is I will do at least 2 things I don't want to do just for exercise. So that's the one I'm doing my videos on. And I've made a list. I've compiled a list of at least 31 things right now. It has 31 things on it. Reminds me of Baskin Robbins 31 flavors, but anyway, but 3 of them are cleaning, so I don't think that really counts. So technically I have 28 things on here, but I figure as I cross things off, I will add things to it. And this is not a complete list, because if I was going to do 2 things for 100, that's like 200 things that I would have to come up with, and I'm not coming up with 200 things today to do. And some of the things on my to-do list, like file my taxes for the last 2 years plus this year, so I have 3 years worth of taxes to file, I'm not going to do all in one day. So I'm going to have to break it up. I'm going to have to split it up. I've got some old projects, crochet projects, cross-stitch projects, things like that it would be nice if I would finish. So I had the idea yesterday and today, I think, that I need to just start doing the things that I've been avoiding in my life, the things that I have procrastinated doing, the projects that I have started and not finished need to be finished. So I will feel better. I think I will feel better about myself to finish the projects, even if they're like 5 to 10 years old or 20 some odd years old, just to know that they're not hanging around in my house and unfinished, and it's not gnawing at me and weighing me down, that I might just feel a little bit lighter and a little bit freer. But it's gonna require a lot more effort, and I just thought of something else that I need to add to my list. So just talking about all this stuff, there's more things. There's plenty of things that I avoid in my life. One of the things on here is to publish my book. One of the things on here is to talk to the person that's supposed to be recording my song so I can publish that. I don't know what else is on my list. I'm not going to read my entire list because I'm just going to go one day at a time. And I'm also aware that some of the things on this list may not get done in 100 days, like cleaning and organizing my house. That, I may get parts and rooms cleaned and organized over the next 100 days, but I may not get through all of it in 100 days because there's only one of me, and I only have so much time and so much energy every day. And I'm going to trust that God is going to tell me on a day-to-day basis what things I need to do that I don't want to do. Like today, I went to the temple and I tried to go early so that I could participate in one of the ordinances. And I ended up just talking with a friend because they were full and they didn't have room for me. And I had a limited amount of time before I had to start my shift at the temple. So I didn't have time to do it, basically. Because if I had just gone and I wanted to wait, I could have waited the 20 minutes until they had availability and then I could have done it. But at the end of the 20 minutes, I was like, now I have to go. So I can't start. So it didn't work out for me before my shift like I had anticipated. And I thought maybe somewhere in the middle of my shift, if I had a break, I could do it. I was hoping I would have a break, and I did not. The only reason I thought I would have a break is because it said study, and I've already memorized all of the things that I need to do in the temple, so there's not really stuff for me to study. And sometimes they will let you do the little ordinances during your study. Sometimes, not always. You have to get permission for that. And it also had a little L next to it, which means laundry, because they need help doing the laundry. And so I went into the laundry hoping they didn't need me so I could go, have a little break and do the ordinances that I wanted to do. And of course they needed me. So I ended up just folding laundry for half an hour. And then when I was leaving at the end of my shift, I ended in the area that I wanted to do the ordinances. And I knew I could be there for half an hour after my shift. And I was like, nope, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm leaving. And they didn't have anybody waiting. There was no wait. And they needed people to come in and do the ordinances. And I was like, not doing it. And I started to walk out. And then I was talking to someone and they asked me if I got to do it. And I was like, nope, I didn't get to do it. And then I was like, and I could do it now, but I need to go to the store, I need to buy journals, and I need to go home, and I need to, make dinner, and I'm hungry, and I'm tired. And I turned around and I went right back into the ordinances, and I did it. I can't say that I was thrilled about it, but I did it. And then, of course, when I was in there, I was thinking about the direction I needed to go to get to the Deseret book that's just down the street from the temple so that I could go buy journals, because that's just a close place, easy place to do it, and they usually have a bunch of different journals. And I didn't want to go that way. I wanted to go the other way. I wanted to go down like the street, just the basic street, and just walk around the corner, like park and walk around the corner. I didn't want to go down by the light rail and have to cross the park and then cross the street. But that's what was popping into my head, and I thought, okay, if this is what God's telling me to do, I will just do it. I need to learn to just listen to that still small voice that's saying, go do this, even if I don't want to, because I'm very good at ignoring that voice, and I think that probably gets me in a lot of trouble. And so really my goal is to start listening more to the things that God wants me to do, even if it's not necessarily what I want to do or when I want to do it. So I was trying to do that today, so I did that today. So that was kind of my 2 on top of making my video tonight, which is really late at night because I put off doing it, just like I put off making my list of things that I'm procrastinating doing, because I've developed the habit of doing that. And in part, I think it's my ADHD brain, maybe some trauma in my life, maybe some perfectionism. I don't even fully understand myself and why I don't do things that seem like they should be easy, but for whatever reason, they're hard for me to do. And so and then I did some journaling. I did some writing this morning after I read my scriptures and meditationals, and I did some journaling tonight. And I'm like, okay, I know the next 100 days are going to be hard, but I feel like I'm going to learn so much and I'm going to grow from this, and hopefully it will help other people that are watching these videos as well. And plus, it's a simple reminder that I didn't think I could do 100 days when I started with the 100 days of gratitude, and I've probably done 4 or 5 different 100 days videos. And even though it took me forever to do the last 100 days because I just didn't do it consistently like I did in the beginning, I still finished it. It didn't matter that it got hard. It didn't matter that I took a break, that I stopped. I went back and I finished it. So going back to these projects that I've left alone for months or years, I can still go back and I can still finish them, and I can still feel like I've accomplished that. I don't have to give up. I don't have to just hate myself for it. And I don't know, I guess in some way that's making amends to myself, making amends to the people that I promised these items to and I never finished them. And then I can be like, okay, I did this. Okay, I did this. I did this. And I think that's a good thing for me to do. And it will help to rebuild relationships. It will help to just alleviate a lot of guilt and things in my life. And so I know what I'm asking myself to do. I know what God is asking me to do. It's going to be really hard, but I know it's going to be really worth it, and it's going to feel really good to do it. And hopefully it will help me to see myself in a better light. And if nothing else, I will get a lot of stuff done that I've just been avoiding and that's just been like in my way. And so I know when I declutter things and put things away and unfinished projects and other such things, that I will feel better about myself. I will not feel nearly as overwhelmed with everything, and it will be fantastic. But right now I already feel stressed out. I feel like I'm doing the max that I'm capable of doing, and I already feel overwhelmed with all the things that I'm not doing. And then I go and choose to listen to God telling me that I need to do at least 2 more things every day that I just don't want to do. And that is going to include making my videos. And I need to find a positive spin on all of them, because I need to still focus on gratitude, and I still need to recognize God's hand in my life when I'm making these videos and doing these things that I don't want to do. I know that they're good things. I'm not asking myself to do things I don't want to do that are bad things that are going to be harmful or hurtful to me. I'm putting things on my list that are good. Like I said, to publish my book or to work on my writing, like watching conference talks that I haven't watched because I just watch one session instead of all 5 sessions. Or working on my grief work. That's my second one on my list. Exercising. I need to exercise. Cleaning. These are all good things for me. Finishing like a crochet hat, because a friend of mine bought all of this yarn for me to make like 5 hats. And I made 4 out of 5 of them. And the 5th one has just been taunting me for a couple of years now because I just never finished it. And well, it's been more than a couple of years, because that was back when I was a school bus driver, and that was over 4 years ago. And I still haven't finished it. And not that it's hard, it's just time consuming. And so it's on my list. I started making a blanket for myself, and I want to finish it. And it's so close. I have the yarn, I bought the materials, I just haven't finished it. And I don't even know if I can remember the pattern, because I made it up, and I'm going to have to try to figure out what the pattern was and what I was doing with it in order to finish it. And I started to make a blanket for a friend's baby, and she wanted like a big, full-size blanket for the baby to have, to like, they could have it their entire life. And so I bought the yarn, I bought the material, I started putting it together, and I don't know what happened. I just got almost finished and I stopped, and it's been sitting in with my crochet stuff for years, and it's not finished. So I just have all of these not finished projects. The oldest one is I started cross-stitching a bunch of cats before I moved to Arizona, and that was over 20 years ago. And then I was at work, I was doing it on my lunch breaks at work, and then I lost the floss, like they call it floss. Basically it's the thread you use to cross stitch, but it's called floss. That's not what you floss your teeth with. It's just like really thin thread, but it's like the thread you would use in a sewing machine, but you do like 2 or 3 at a time. Anyway, I had the floss and I had the needles, and I lost all of it. And then at one point I went out and I bought all of the floss to replace the stuff that was lost. And I finished most of it, and there's still like this little corner section that's like just has to be it's all black because it's for a black cat. And then it needs to be framed. And at some point, I took the frame that I bought and I used it for a friend's wedding. Like I made a completely different project, and I cut it up and gave it, to put, like the matting I bought, I cut it up for a friend's present for a friend's wedding instead of buying another mat. So now I would have to get another mat for the cat thing and whatever. But I don't remember if I gave it away. I don't remember if it's still hidden somewhere and amongst all of my things. So I was just like, Yeah, I have some really old stuff, and I hold on to all of these things, and I hold on to all of this stuff, and it's insane. So I need to go through all of my stuff, and I need to either finish the projects, I need to give the projects away, or I need to throw them away. And of course, my books. I've started at least 6 books, none of which have been published yet. Lenore and the Teachers of Powers is the closest to being published. I have 2 other books that have just they need to be revised. I'm not sure how much revision is required. Basically, rewriting the entire books, probably for both of them. And I have 3 other books that I've started, and I just haven't finished writing them. And of course, I know once they're written all the way through, there's the whole process of rewriting and revising and getting them to the point where they're good enough to be published. So again, these are projects that aren't going to be finished in 100 days, but they're projects that I can be working on and feeling like I'm working towards a goal again and feeling good about myself. And also, I know decluttering my house and cleaning my house and organizing my things will help me to not feel so stressed and overwhelmed, and then I won't feel the need to avoid as much, and then I will maybe work more on my writing and things. I don't know. This is another one of those things where it's day one, and I have all of these ideas as to what God is going to try to teach me over the next 100 days. And when I get to the end of the 100 days, it will probably be completely different than what I imagined at the beginning. Because right now I have no idea other than it's going to be super hard to motivate myself every day to do things I don't want to do, because I struggle with that every single day. And most days I lose that battle and I'm like, just forget it. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just too tired. I'm just this, that, or the other. And not going to happen. So I need my stubborn determination to kick in for the next 100 days to work on my list. And I have a list to look at every day, but I also know that God may have other things in mind for me, like going a different direction to get to the store to buy journals that I, needed to buy, because I actually almost filled up my last one. I didn't know if I would fill it up today or tomorrow, but I didn't want to have to go to the store on Monday after work, especially if I'm going to hang out with a friend on Monday after work, which I committed to do today. So yeah, anyway, my day is just full of things I don't want to do. I think everyone's days are full of things they just don't want to do. But some things are just built in and they're habitual, and we just do them because that's what we have to do. So I'm going to try not to use, getting out of bed to my alarm, because I never want to get out of bed, or going to work because I never want to go to work. I'm like, that would be easy. I could do that every single day in my video. Oh yeah, I didn't want to get out of bed. I did. I didn't want to go to work. I did. Look at that. I do that every day. I want to focus on things that like I said, that I've procrastinated, projects that I haven't finished, things that I know will help me to feel better about me, the environment that I'm living in, and taking care of myself and following through on goals and things, which are actually things I want to do. But when it comes right down to on a daily basis, I just don't have the energy, or I just don't have the desire to follow through with the things that I started. So I'm putting them on my list of things I don't want to do, because I'm like, oh, I really should work on my book today, and that would be a good idea. And I just don't want to today. And that's what happens. That's my internal battle. And I get up in the morning and think, I'm going to do this tonight. And then I get home from work and I'm like, yeah, that's just not going to happen today. So I'm hoping that this will change that. So instead of my, yeah, that's not going to happen today, that's like, okay, fine, I'll do it because I know I need to. So those are things that I put on there. I also put on some other things, like getting the MRI of my back that I need to do, and calling the pharmacy to get medication, and some other things that I need to do, like canceling my gym membership because it's wasting money because I'm not using it, and I can exercise at home and not spend money. And so these are things that I'm just, paying for something I'm not using. So these are also on my to-do list because it requires me to call and do something, and I just haven't done it. I just ignore it for no good reason. So that's still on things I haven't done. So I'm not really sure how that plays out with my ideas for my videos. Like I said, it's like do at least two things every day you don't want to do just for exercise. And I mean, there are a list of things that I think need to be done, but I don't necessarily want to do, or they're goals that I want to accomplish, but I don't want to do the little menial daily tasks in order to get to the final project. And that's always my problem. I can picture the final project and I want the final project, but I don't want to do all the little menial tasks to get to the final project. Like, I want to publish my book, but I don't want to have to rewrite my book. I don't want to have to edit my book. I don't want to have to bug people to help me edit my book. I just, but I also don't want to publish something that's not good or that's incomplete. I want it to be a good final product that I publish, which means I have to work on it every day. I want to publish my other books in the series, but that means I actually have to finish writing them, and that means I also will have to revise them and rewrite them, and it can be a daunting process. And I want all of these things to just be one and done. I'm like, I did it and I'm done, and it doesn't matter how good or bad it is. But when it comes to my books and my writing, it does matter how good it is. And when it comes to cleaning my house, it will never be clean. It'll be clean, but then it gets dirty so fast that I have to constantly, it's one of those things I have to constantly do or redo. It's like my writing, it doesn't just one and done. It's not just done. It doesn't just go away. Just like doing laundry and dishes, they don't just go away. Writing in my journal, it's not like there's an end date to any or all of that. And I'm hoping at the end of my 100 days, I will do better at doing the things that need to be done, or doing the little menial tasks to get to the goal of what I want to accomplish. Because I want to do things. I want the final goal. I just don't want to do the things in between. And I know I'm rambling, long, drawn out video. I'm still trying to sort out how this is all going to work for the next 100 days. So bear with me over the next 100 days if you're interested. And if not, that's okay too. And if you have any ideas on how to help me get through this, I would love to read about that. And if you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude. And if you want to join me on this challenge, find some things that you don't necessarily want to do or like to do, but you need to do, or that would be good for building your character and helping you be the best version of you that you can be. And that's all I have for today.